Is Joe Biden truly capable of transforming America, or are his promises just political rhetoric? With the 2024 election approaching, the nation is divided. Some believe he is leading the U.S. into a new era, while others argue his policies are ineffective or even harmful. But what's the reality? Can Biden really reshape America's future? Let's break it down. Since taking office in January 2021, President Joe Biden has pushed a bold agenda aimed at transforming key aspects of American life, from the economy to healthcare, climate change, and social justice. He came in promising to restore the soul of the nation after the Trump era. But has he succeeded, or is the America he envisions out of reach? In this video, we'll examine Biden's most ambitious policies, their impact so far, and whether they truly have the power to reshape the United States. Stay tuned as we break it all down. Body, the economy, recovery, or struggle. One of Biden's most significant challenges upon taking office was rebuilding the economy after the COVID-19 pandemic. To address this, he introduced the American Rescue Plan, a $1.9 trillion stimulus package aimed at helping struggling families and businesses. This included direct stimulus checks, extended unemployment benefits, child tax credits, and financial aid for small businesses. While these measures helped millions, critics argue that the massive government spending contributed to high inflation, which has since made daily life more expensive for Americans. To counteract this, Biden passed the Inflation Reduction Act, aiming to curb rising prices. However, while job growth has been steady under his administration, wage increases have not kept pace with inflation. Many are left wondering, has Biden truly fixed the economy, or has he merely postponed deeper problems? Infrastructure, building America's future? Biden signed the $1.2 trillion bipartisan infrastructure law, marking one of the largest infrastructure investments in decades. This bill allocated funds to rebuild roads, bridges, and public transit systems, while also expanding broadband internet access and modernizing water and power grids. Supporters argue that these projects will create millions of jobs and boost the economy in the long run. However, critics point out that large-scale infrastructure projects take years to complete, meaning their immediate impact remains limited. Some also worry about government inefficiency and potential mismanagement of funds. While the infrastructure law lays a foundation for a more modern America, the question remains, how long will it take before Americans see tangible benefits? Climate change, a game changer or too little too late? Biden has made climate change a key focus of his administration, aiming to position the U.S. as a global leader in clean energy. His administration rejoined the Paris Agreement, reversing Trump's withdrawal, and introduced aggressive policies to cut carbon emissions. The Inflation Reduction Act allocated $369 billion toward clean energy investments, offering tax credits for electric vehicles and solar power, while implementing stricter pollution controls on major corporations. While environmentalists praise these efforts, critics argue that the U.S. still heavily relies on fossil fuels, and Biden's approval of new oil drilling projects contradicts his green energy agenda. The real question is, are these climate policies enough to combat global warming, or are they simply political gestures? Healthcare, affordable for all? Biden has worked to expand and strengthen the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, making healthcare more accessible for millions of Americans. His administration lowered prescription drug prices, allowed Medicare to negotiate drug costs, and increased subsidies for low-income families. While these measures have helped reduce costs for some, the U.S. still has some of the highest healthcare expenses in the world. Many Americans remain uninsured or struggle with medical debt. Some critics argue that Biden's policies don't go far enough and that a more radical shift, such as universal healthcare, is needed to truly fix the system. So while Biden has made progress, has he actually made healthcare affordable for all, or is it still out of reach for many? Student loan debt, relief, or false hope? Biden promised to address the growing student loan crisis, which affects millions of Americans. His administration introduced a student loan forgiveness plan to cancel up to $20,000 per borrower. However, the Supreme Court struck down this plan, forcing Biden to look for alternative ways to provide relief. He has since introduced smaller relief programs and expanded income-driven repayment plans, but many borrowers feel let down. While some Americans have received partial forgiveness, the vast majority are still burdened by student debt. The question remains, can Biden still solve America's student loan crisis, or was his plan always destined to fail? Social justice and racial equality. Biden has taken steps to address racial inequality, focusing on criminal justice reform, police accountability, and economic support for minority communities. His administration passed the Juneteenth national holiday and appointed a diverse range of officials to key government positions. However, major police reform efforts have stalled in Congress, and racial disparities in income, housing, and education persist. While Biden has spoken passionately about racial justice, some argue that his actions have not matched his rhetoric. Has he done enough to make America more equitable, or are these changes mostly symbolic? Immigration, crisis or progress? Biden inherited a deeply polarized immigration system and immediately reversed several Trump-era policies, including ending family separations at the border. His administration has also expanded pathways for legal status and increased funding for border security. However, illegal border crossings have surged, creating a major political crisis. Some critics argue that his policies have encouraged more migrants to enter the U.S. illegally, while others say his administration has not done enough to reform the immigration system. With border security remaining a hot-button issue, has Biden found a balanced solution, or is the system still broken? U.S. global influence, strengthened or weakened? Biden has worked to restore America's position on the world stage, strengthening alliances with NATO, supporting Ukraine against Russia's invasion, and taking a tough stance on China's trade practices and human rights violations. While some argue that Biden has restored global trust in American leadership, others believe he has escalated tensions, particularly with Russia and China. The war in Ukraine has drained U.S. resources, and growing conflicts could push the country into new international disputes. Has Biden truly made America stronger on the global stage, or is he leading the nation toward more conflicts? So, can Biden really transform America? His policies have certainly had an impact, but deep political divisions, economic uncertainty, and global conflicts make full transformation difficult. Some view his leadership as a step in the right direction, while others argue he's falling short. What do you think? Has Biden truly changed America, or is it all just political talk? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into politics and current affairs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.